Hall. Town Hall is reporting that Republican firebrand Matt Gaetz is openly threatening Jack Smith with criminal contempt of Congress for what many perceive, obviously, as a blatant political witch hunt against Trump. Gaetz is calling for House Republicans to demand Smith appear before the Judiciary Committee within the next 15 days. If Smith fails to comply with that demand, then he should be held in criminal contempt of Congress. That would, in effect, make Smith the first prosecutor in American history to prosecute a case while being himself under criminal contempt. That would be beautiful. Gaetz is going further, arguing that if Attorney General Merrick Garland doesn't rein this absurdity in, which of course he won't, then he should face immediate impeachment. Now, this is huge because, as I've argued on numerous occasions here, the only reason why President Trump is being indicted right now and the entire nation is being subjected to this nonsense, the only reason ultimately is because the feckless Republicans allow it. I think it was D.C. Drano who said it. It was wonderful. While we may all be pissed off at these latest indictments, it's not like we don't have a GOP majority in the House to impeach Merrick Garland or Joe Biden for that matter. The Democrats get away with these antics only because a feckless, weak, donor-controlled Republican Party allows them to. I'll say that again, damn it. The Democrats get away with these absurd antics only because a bunch of feckless, weak, cowardly, donor-class control Republicans allow them to. I'm ready to do my Clark Griswold Christmas rant. I came across a tweet that I think said it best. We are never going to win until we realize that playing by the rules doesn't work when the other side believes there are no rules. Abiding by parliamentary protocol doesn't work when the other side's declared war. And this is a weakness in the Republican Party that the Democrats have thus far been exploiting. They're willing to pursue tactics they know Republicans will never pursue because Republicans are worried that were they to do so, it would destroy the country. If you think it through, they're basically holding us hostage by our own love and fidelity to our nation. Literally everything these cultural Marxist Democrats are doing is predicated on a simple premise. They know that Republicans know that were the Republicans to match tit for tat these Democrat antics, then the Republic would quickly descend into a spiral of illegality and chaos, very much analogous to what we saw in the late Roman Republic. That fact is well known to the cultural Marxists that comprise today's Democratic Party. So the Democrats have assumed the role of the spoiled teen who feels he has a blank check of lawless behavior that his parents would never dare emulate, given that for adults to do so would destroy the family. So the left is acting the way they do because they know that were Republicans to respond in kind by mimicking their own antics, the end result would be the destruction of the republic that Republicans and conservatives love. So they're basically holding us hostage to our fidelity to our nation. But what these feckless Republicans have got to get is that in descending into these lawless, ridiculous antics, we have already lost our nation. They've already destroyed it. We have an echo of a nation, but we don't have our nation anymore. The Democrats have robbed us of the nation. They're burning it all down. They're going full George Floyd. They're burning it all down. So now the only question is, what the hell are you going to do about it to get our nation back? Hey, gang, with all the insanity at our southern border and with bumbling Biden's deliberate incompetence, there has simply never been a better time to protect your assets with the timeless value of gold and silver. And that is where our good friends over at Goldco come in, gang. Click on that link below and learn the 3 simple steps you can take right now to protect your savings the way patriots throughout the centuries have always protected their assets, and that's, of course, with gold and silver. In fact, Goldco are patriots just like us, gang. They want you to succeed so much, they're offering you up to $10,000 in free silver while supply lasts. So don't wait. Click on that link below or visit my special website, turleytalkslikesgold.com. Enough of this. Well, we have to let the process play out. Freaking Tim Scott said that with the first indictment, or with the first Mar-a-Lago raid this time last year. We have to let the process play itself out. They're not playing a process. They're not playing a process. They are weaponizing the system to silence the political opposition. This is fundamentally about whether or not the people still have the right to choose our own leaders. Or will they be selected by an approved set of the permanent political class? That's what these feckless Republicans are going to have to start asking themselves. They're going to need to they're going to have to start fighting if they expect to have a party anymore. And that's not mere hyperbole. You may have heard this, but we've got another report out here. This is very, very concerning for the I don't think it's concerning for anyone else other than establishment Republicans. But while Trump is absolutely awash with cash, most particularly in his Save America PAC, the Republican Party is going broke. Have you seen this? The RNC in particular, and state parties, they're going broke. The GOP is going financially bankrupt. Patriots have pulled their money. They're not financially supporting a political party that can be so callously dismissive and deaf to the demands of their own freaking constituents. They're more accountable to CNN than they are to the heartland. How long are Republicans going to sit by and watch this monstrosity unfold without so much as lifting a finger to do anything about it? Or even worse, we got the likes of Judas figures like Mike Pence acting like they're faithful representatives of us. You simply couldn't find a more repulsive, abhorrent, repugnant pseudo-representative of this party than Mike Pence or Mitch Staring McConnell or Mitt Romney or Asa Hutchinson or Chris Christie. And irony of ironies, their donors still live in a world that thinks they're Trudeau'd. They still think in a world they live in a world that thinks that it's Trump that's bringing down the Republican Party, that MAGA is somehow a fringe minority within the Republican Party, that the Liz Cheneys actually make up the majority of the party. They actually live in that kind of refeudalized aristocratic bubble. And they don't realize that MAGA is the Republican Party. So this is the tension we talk about all the time on this channel. If you're a regular, you know about it. If not, make sure you smack the bell and subscribe button. You'll love it. It's a very important distinction between a populist right party and a populist light party. They're going through this in Europe a little bit, and that's why they have a lot of break-off parties that just form third parties. But a populist right party is a MAGA party through and through, from top to bottom. All rhinos, all neocons have either left the party or they've just adjusted themselves to the new political reality, right? It's a full-blown patriot party. A populist light party is a party that has a MAGA base, a MAGA grassroots, but a neocon establishment leadership. And the disparity between the two, the disparity between the grassroots and the donor class controlled leadership is just growing wider by the freaking second. And this is because a populist right party and a populist light party operate by two fundamentally different politics. The populist right party operates by a politics of the people, where the values, concerns, and interests of the MAGA base are represented faithfully by their elected officials, like Trump has done so well for the last, it did for 4 years and even onward. However, a populist light party is governed not by the politics of the people, but rather by the politics of the establishment, where GOP elected officials promote and protect the values, concerns, and interests of the aristocratic permanent political class that is in turn amplified by the shameless cheerleading of the mainstream Marxist media. So this is the party with the likes of someone like Mike Pence. Pence sees the Republican Party as nothing more than a special interest group for the establishment, for the swamp. Pence, Romney, they're all dedicated ultimately to doing the bidding of the donor class that's in turn amplified by the advertiser-funded CNN, Pfizer-funded CNN, New York Times, Goldman Sachs. They care nothing. They literally care nothing about the working class men and women of our nation. Remember Pence's statement when Tucker was grilling him. America's not my concern. That's not my concern, Tucker. That's not my concern. Well, if any Republican leader is concerned with having a viable political party in the very near future, which better become their concern, all of this better become their concern. I mean, like as of yesterday. The Republicans had better be following Matt Gaetz here and push back against this rogue, renegade Justice Department and its weaponization of the legal system. Laura Ingraham said it best. The Justice Department has basically become the new DNC headquarters. They're effing arresting Biden's political opposition leader, for God's sake. This is insane. And if this isn't enough to awaken the Republican opposition to push back with 10 times the force of the Democrats, they don't deserve to be a party any longer. We will be watching very closely.